Well, hello. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's DJ. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Final Fantasy XIV. Welcome to an event I forgot was happening. Uh, so, it's the Rising. Um, and it's the 10th anniversary Moogle or Tombstone event. So I figured I can go ahead and, I don't know, switch off for tonight. Just put everything else on the back burner. And we are going to say hello to the cat. Hello to the cat, who's a little bit see-through tonight because I haven't set up my full lighting after converting the quote-unquote studio to a theater. I've got a big TV I play on. In any case, yeah. So, if you're not familiar, Rising is the anniversary event. In this case, it's the 10th anniversary event. If I move closer to the stage area, you may hear the Answers theme. I think it's Answers. But we also have the Moogle Tombstone event, and Stormy, just get down. Just get down. I moved the wrong way. This way? Nope, this way. No, I tilted. Okay, better. So yeah, Moogle Tombstone event, you run certain dungeons and quests. In this case, we're the Praetorium, the Castrum, Porta Decumana, and a bunch of the raids, including ones I haven't unlocked yet. And they give you these tombstones, just like the Allegan Tombstones of Poetics, the irregular tombstones, this time of tenfold pageantry. You can turn them into one of those itinerant Moogles somewhere around here. We'll find them later to get, and you can turn them in, trade them for different mounts, different accessories, and so on. So today I think, but before we do that, we're gonna come talk to Kippy. We're gonna pet the kitty, then talk to Kippy, because Kippy Jacques is looking a worried sister. And we're looking for these 10th anniversary things. Pop, stop, cat. Oh, if it isn't red. It's always a pleasure, my friend. And how fortuitous that you should appear now, just when I'm in need of help again. But pray, hear me out. You see, my brother recently wrote saying he wished to meet me in Ul'dah during the Rising celebration. However, the appointed hour has come and gone, and I've seen neither hide nor hair of him. I've checked all the likely places in the city to no avail, and I'm beginning to worry. If it isn't too much trouble, may I ask you to help me find him? I'm in your debt, and my cat is in the way. Now, my brother is a youth of 16 by the name of Nagi. He recently became an adventurer, something he had aspired to since he was little. Being an adventurer yourself, perhaps you know of him, if not cross paths? I'm not familiar with the name, alas. Well, it would be too much of a coincidence, I suppose. At any rate, if he isn't in the city, chances are he went outside on some business. To begin with, I propose we split up and make inquiries in case someone has seen him. If you could focus on this area, I shall speak with those in the quicksand. Afterwards, let's reconvene by the entrance to the tavern. And double check. We are looking for uh, Nagi. We're looking for Nagi. Have you seen Nagi? Anybody here seen Nagi? This way. Look for the stack of people who are also doing this quest. Hello. You are literally standing on the attendant, buddy. Greetings, adventurer. How may I assist you? Oh, Nagi. I understand he's doing some work for the Wandering Minstrel. I dare say his client can point you in the right direction. If you can track the man down, that is. I'm afraid I don't know his whereabouts at present. So I'm going to, real quick, dismiss the Puff of Darkness. The Wandering Minstrel's usually over here, but... Hello, Bron. Something I can do for you, adventurer. If you've business with Bron, best say it quickly. This guy leads to following incidents to investigate for the Harper Herald. Have you seen Nagi or the Wandering Minstrel? Apologies, I haven't seen this Nagi. Matter of fact, I've been rather busy working on my upcoming piece on the Rising. Why, just earlier I was interviewing the ever-enigmatic Wandering Minstrel, who's got another unusual venture in the office. The Letter Forest, he calls it. If that piques your interest, I recommend you go and see the man. He's at the Gold Court over on the Steps of Thal. Ah. Was there someone else around here? Ah, a Highlander adventurer who's sharing, something you needed. Oh, Nagi. I know the sprightly lad. Couldn't say where he is now, but last I saw him, he mentioned taking on some delivery work. He's a curious one, he is. Gets along with everyone well enough, but doesn't seem to like working in a team. What with talks of bandits prowling the road of late, I can't help but worry. Here's Nagi is carrying out some work for the Wandering Minstrel. If you talk to the man at the Gold Court, you should be able to learn more. Nagi, if, because I do know I played it on an alt last year, was last year's Rising subject, and you basically walked him through the adventure starting tutorial for Ul'dah. So it was kind of fun. Hello, Soken. Lord Soken, what can I do? What can you do for me? Greetings, friend. By your dauntless bearing, I assume you are an adventurer. How might this minstrel be of service? So Nagi's sister wishes to find him. Let me try that one again. So Nagi's sister wishes to find him. Indeed, I have entrusted him with the task and have an inkling as to where he might be. As you may have heard, on the occasion of the Rising celebration, I am hosting an exhibit called the Letter Forest. All are invited to anonymously submit letters to this forest and express their gratitude and encouragement for another, and all may peruse the letters at their leisure. Now, in order to collect missives from outside of Ul'dah, I've dispatched a chocobo carriage. Nagi is escorting said carriage. When he contacted me on a link pearl a while ago, he said that they had emerged from the Twelveswood on their way back to Ul'dah. Given the hour, they should have already arrived. I know not what is causing the delay, but might I trouble you to look for them? I would go myself, but except I am needed here at present. I am truly grateful. In case it helps, the carriage was meant to pass through Blackbrush Station, so perhaps you could take your search to that area. I pray nothing has befallen them. No. Stormy, I am sorry I stepped on you this morning. I really am. But you know if I've heard to talk with a cat in your face? The microphone is behind your butt, and if you happen to pass gas right now, everyone will wonder what the hell is going on. So I'm going to ask you to get down. Please and thank you. See, that wasn't so hard. I know you have food and I know you have water because I always, like a responsible cat owner, I make sure that before I sit down to do something, that the cat has food and water. Blackbrush Station. So the easiest way is probably down here. And that little switcheroo was you get the Kamui, one of the Reveling Kamui, one of the mounts available for the Tombstone Fent. How did I get them? Well, I did some farming yesterday. I don't see Nagi. Is he hidden? No. Waylon? Warren? Nope, you don't have anything to say. Are you in the Berengar? Nope, you don't got anything for me? Okay, well. Can you get, you can't. Okay, never mind. Double check. You're just the hungry guy. You're a regular fate. Up here, you look like bandits. I don't see anybody. Oh. That would be why I missed a step. Like, why can't I find them? Because you tried to skip a step. You tried to be cute. And now you have to wander all the way back. Clustered attendant. There you are. Were you able to learn all of the Nagi? Escorting a carriage for the minstrel. So that's the way of it. As suggested, let's take ourselves to Blackbird Station and try searching in the vicinity. So, if I'm not mistaken, and I might be, somebody can surely correct me in the YouTube comments or here in chat. Kipa, or Kippy, was a newspaper reporter before the calamity. Which was the events 5 years prior to the start of the game. You've seen the cinematic, I'm sure you have. Ah, there she is. Kippy. Red, no sooner did I arrive than this man came running, out of breath. You're an adventurer, think the 12. It's the bandits from the Quivering Manse. They've fallen on Chocobo carriage over by the clutch. The carriage only had one guard and he was sorely outnumbered. Please, you must help him. That has to be Nagi. With me, Red. Yes. Brett, is that you, Bretton? Damn it, there's no end to him. We have you now, you stammer little shite. Enough! Leave my brother alone, or 12 is my witness. You'll receive a thrashing as you've never known. From this fearsome adventurer here, that is. That's no ordinary woman. Retreat! I'm no ordinary woman. Are you alright, Nagi? Sorry I didn't come when I said I would, sister. Rest assured, I'm not too badly hurt. That's a relief. I'll take a proper look at your wounds back in the city. Seems you're an adventurer too. Thank you for your help. What's your name, if I may? Red Green. I'll remember it. To send your foes running without even drawing your weapon. You're clearly a great adventurer. I still have a long way to go, embarrassing myself like I did. But with sister's approval, I need to grow strong and be able to fight on my own. My approval? But first things first. Berman and I have a delivery to make for the Rising. If you'll excuse us, we'll hurry back to Ul'dah. Let us head back as well. I had a mind to pay the minstrel a visit in any case. Welcome back, my friends. Pleased am I to see that Nagi is safe and well. Rising attendants inform me that they now have all the letters. With this, we may proceed with the letter forest as planned. Thank you, Doc. I'm sorry I'm late. You see, were it not for Red, there's no telling what might have come of the letters in Bremont. In the end, I was utterly useless. So that is how it happened. As Nagi's client, allow me to thank you as well for coming to his aid. That being said, my boy, you were far from useless. Nay, you bravely defended the carriage until help arrived. There's no need to belittle yourself, sir. Well, Red didn't need to rely on anyone. She drove off the bandits with nary more than a stern look. I couldn't hold a candle to her. I, I want to be able to deal with any problem without help. Otherwise, I can't claim to be an adventurer worth his salt. Without help? Tell me, Nagi, all this time, have you been working alone? Even for dangerous tasks? That's right. A worthy adventurer doesn't rely on others. If I'm to be the kind of adventurer you approve of, I must be able to handle anything by myself. Let's see. If that is what you believe, then I can't consent to you being an adventurer any longer. Return to our village and start over. But, but you were so happy for me when I became an adventurer. Working so hard to succeed. To prove to you that I have what it takes, but now you've developed a grave misconception. Till you realize what it is, I can't in good conscience approve of your calling. If you can't accept this, if you wish to remain an adventurer, then you must win me over. And it begins with pondering why you first embarked upon this path. All right, sister. I'll think on this. Come in. I'm sorry you had to see that, Red. Despite how it may have appeared, no one wants my brother to succeed more than I do. To succeed and be happy. After all, I know better than any how hard he works. Unless he changes his ways, he's like to die somewhere out there. And even if he manages to stay alive, he would only know an arduous life. Why I didn't go out of my way to be gentle when dressing his wounds. He could just focus on what actually matters. Instead, he obsesses about gaining my approval and compares himself to others. I'm guessing, Kippe, you have more to say. You have a quest marker. Truth be told, no matter what Nagi wants to do, it's my intent to support him. It's his life after all, no one else's. It isn't my place to interfere. Be that as it may, if he's sabotaging his own aspirations with obsession with my approval, I can't stand idly by and watch. Loath though I am to impose, until my brother has found an answer, might I trouble you to keep an eye on him? Please, take it as a request from me as well. Never has adventure been dangerous, and it's more dangerous still for one who spurns help. Like Kippa, I do not wish for Nagi to continue on its current path. As a fellow adventurer, please, help him find a better way. Thank you. Now then, on a related matter, I must pay a visit to the Weaver's Guild, but I'll see you again anon, if you will excuse me. Nagi set off this way, so you may find him at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. We leave him in your capable hands. So this way, toward the Weaver's Guild. That running downstairs animation just kills me every time. Doot, 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 doot. Oh, it's you, Rip. What is it? Is that so? I'm sorry. This is really something I should be doing alone. Still, it's nice to have someone to talk to. Like my sister, baby. I'm pondering why I chose to become an adventurer in the first place. Kippy has looked after me since I was no more than 10 after our parents passed away. She was already a reporter by then, and her work took her to various places. From her, I heard tales about adventurers and came to admire them. Upon learning the full extent of the impending calamity, she took us to a village in the mountains where her aunt lived. It's desperate times like these. It's desperate times like these that people need stories of hope, she used to say. And I believe she had wanted to remain in Gridania and continue her work. But she left in order to keep me safe. I was a burden to her then. I don't want to be a burden to her again. For that, I need to show her that I don't need to depend on others. That I'm a capable adventurer who can handle anything by himself. But ponder as I might, I can't understand what's wrong with that. Well, when in doubt, I suppose I should do what adventurers do and gather information. It'd be good, I think, to speak with people like my sister, people who aren't adventurers but are familiar with them. Who in Ul'dah would fit that description? How about the local purveyor of information? You mean Wyman? Well, he's certainly knowledgeable. The kind of information he deals in isn't exactly what I need. Instead, how about Miss Momodi, the face of the Adventurers Guild? In her capacity as guild representative, she's bound to have some valuable insights. I'll seek her out at once. Yeah, that's actually who I meant. I forgot Wyman was here. I forgot the information. Forgot that Wyman was an information broker. Thank you for holding the door. Nagi! There you are. I still remember when I first came here to sign up. I was a nervous wreck then, but now this place feels like a second home. I come here all the time for the crumpets. Make them so springy and serve them drowning in butter and honey. Sorry. It's not the time for that. Let's have a chat with Miss Melody. Well now, if it isn't Red and Nagi, to what do I owe the pleasure of both your companies today? I was hoping to get your advice on a certain matter. The misconception you developed about being an adventurer. That's an interesting one, I have to admit. Try as I might to figure it out, I keep going in circles. Thought you might be able to offer some insights. This is just a gut feeling, but I reckon I understand what your sister's trying to say. Tell me, Nagi, suppose you fail to get your sister's approval. Would you simply give up being an adventurer? Would it all become meaningless? From this here counter, I've indeed seen off many an adventure, each and every one unique, with dreams and destinations all their own. But in spite of their differences, they all shared something in common, a reason for first embarking upon their journey. Red, would you mind telling us why you chose the adventure in life? A friend recommended it to me. Is that right? How sweet. Keep that friend close now, you hear? And you, Nagi, what inspired you to become an adventurer? It's simple, really. I heard about adventurers from my sister and became infatuated with the lives they led. Like them, I wanted to be able to see the world while helping those around me. Then, isn't that enough? Your sister's approval or no, you have a reason all your own. Right, the 12. I see it now. At some point, my desire to prove myself to Kippy had displaced my own motive for being an adventurer. That's the misconception Kippy wanted me to recognize. What a fool I'd been. Wanting someone's approval isn't wrong in and of itself, Matt, but it's got nothing to do with why you're an adventurer. It shouldn't force you to do things you wouldn't otherwise do, like trying to handle everything alone. That's enough from me for the day. I've said my piece. What you do now is up to you, Nagi. Thank you for helping me realize, Miss Malone. Think nothing of it. It's my job to watch over you all. Nothing makes me happier than to see you happy, doing what you do. Thank you too, Red, for accompanying me. I think I know what to say to Kippet now. And loath though I am to trouble you again, there's something else I'd like your help with. See, those letters we collected in Limsa Laminsa, one was from an explorer who was seeking an escort for an expedition. By now, that letter should be on display at Gold Court. I want to show it to my sister. I'd be grateful if you could help me find it. Now, let's rejoin the minstrel. Ah, welcome back. Dare I hope you were able to find the answer? Yes, I'm happy to say. Miss Momodi helped me come to a realization, and when I go to speak with my sister, blah 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 blah. Let's see. But by all means, feel free to borrow the letter. Does it have any distinguishing characteristics? As I recall, there was a large drawing of a blue chocobo on it. Very well. Let us all search together, the more swiftly to find. A blue chocobo. It's a letter with a chocobo carriage drawing. Ooh. Liar. Dear Not So New Adventure. As a traveling merchant, I've had my fair share of happy encounters, but carrying a carriage with you stands out above them all. For you see, I went on to sell veritable crate loads of the ring I gave you. It earned enough of a profit to buy my own carriage. You shared with me your adventurer's luck, and I count my blessings every day. My only regret is I've neglected to ask your name, so I don't know your doings. If my instincts are on the mark, you've surely made a name for yourself. Wherever you are now, my friend, I pray for your continued safety and success. While the contents ring a bell, this letter wasn't written by an explorer, nor does it bear a drawing of a blue chocobo. It isn't the missive Nagi's looking for. No kidding, it was a letter with a chocobo carriage drawing. Well, let's look at the other ones. We have time. We've got nothing but time today. Letter with a quill drawing. Esteemed adventurer, should you chance to read this letter, I pray it finds you well. Much time has passed since you helped us to rebuild in the wake of that terrible disaster, but we still remember you fondly. Our lives continue to be hard. Every day brings new challenges. Nonetheless, we have regained a semblance of what we once had, and smiles are beginning to return to faces. Tomorrow will be brighter than today. Tomorrow will be brighter than today. This we dare to believe now, thanks to you. And should you yourself face hardship, I pray that you believe the same. Letter with the shield. It's over here, I see it. As someone charged with the city's peace, I cannot overstate how much of a boon adventurers are to our efforts. Some folks have expressed concern that an increase in drifters would see a corresponding rise in crime, but on the contrary, they are steadily declining. Soldiers like ourselves are somewhat limited in the scope of our duties. We are not always available to lend our citizens what assistance they need. Thus would I take the opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to adventurers who step up to fill the void. Dear adventurer, how fares your journey? Mine continues, and I wake up to the sound of bird song and lie down to sleep beneath the moonlight as I seek unblazed trails. Long ago, when an adventurer aided me, I was made to realize how alike we are. Deep down, we are simply travelers who thrill to make new discoveries. Thus, do I write this letter now, in hopes of recruiting such like-minded souls to join me on an expedition. If you would all share in my desire to make the uncharted charted, then I invite you to seek me out at the Drowning Winch in Limsa Limits. Eagerly do I await your coming. Found it. No luck so far over here. How about you? A blue chocobo. Yes, this is the one. All that's left then is to talk to Kippy. Do you know where she is? She went to the Weavers Guild, saying she had business there. Perhaps she's buying clothes. At any rate, I'll look for her there. Thank you. For this, too, might I trouble you to accompany Nagi? Afterwards, I ask that you tell me how events unfold. I shall await you at the Ruby Road Exchange. You're here too, Red. I must confess, I'm feeling rather nervous, so I appreciate your presence. Oh dear, you came to find me. My apologies for taking so long. Were you able to find the answer? Aye. To begin with, I want you to look at this. An explorer is assembling an escort for an explorer is assembling an escort for an expedition? Certainly sounds exciting. In wanting your approval, I was determined not to rely on others, but a part of me dearly wanted to be part of the expedition, to go where I dare not set foot alone. So I decided I will answer the invitation. Then this means you've given up on trying to do everything alone? I wanted to prove to you that I'm capable, that I'm no longer a burden. In my obsession, I lost sight of why I became an adventurer in the first place. To see what lies beyond the horizon and lend a helping hand to those I meet. It's what drives me, and I was able to remember this thanks to Miss Spumodi and Red. And whether or not you approve, I want to continue adventuring for my own reasons. Is that alright with you? Didn't you just say you didn't need my approval? But to be clear, I never actually intended to stop. You remember what you once told me, Tiger, shortly before the calamity struck. Did you interview adventurers again today? What were they like? What kind of places have they been to? You never get sick of hearing about adventurers, do you? Never ever. When I grow up, I want to be an adventurer too. Well, that's as fine as an aspiration as any, but do you know what kind of adventurer you wish to become? A hero like in the tales, perhaps? Oh no, sis, not a hero. Adventurers are free spirits, and I want to be the freest spirit of them all. I'll travel the world and meet lots of people, and when I visit home, you can interview me as much as you like. For that boy to spurn hell for one of my approval, I couldn't bear to see it. In order to bring you to your senses, I may have spoken a little sternly. As an adventurer, you'll experience no small amount of hardships. But you chose your path because you wanted to be free. So don't let yourself be shackled by expectation, be it your own or that of others, and instead take things as they come. So long as you are true to yourself and recognize your limits, you'll surely find a way forward. And remember, not even heroes can accomplish everything alone. Relying on others doesn't make you a lesser adventurer. If anything, the freer we are, the more we need to look out for one another. And that, I believe, is the essence and beauty of adventuring. Wouldn't you agree, Red? Understood. I won't ever forget this. Knowing you, I expect you're raring to answer the explorer's petition in Limsa Laminsa. You'll be taking an airship, yes? In which case, I shall give you these garments. I'll give these garments to you now. I had them made for you, thinking it was past time you had something better. For me? Thank you so much, sister. I must thank you too, Red. You're the kind of adventurer I admire, and I'll keep working hard to be like you. I couldn't have asked for a better person to watch over my little brother. I appreciate everything you've done for him. Look forward to meeting you again, be it for a story or something else. With that, we'll take our leave of you. Till next time. You see the siblings off, safe in the knowledge that all will be well. Time to rejoin the wandering minstrel and relay to him the tale's happy conclusion. Ooh, excuse me. Thought I had that muted. I apologize. Oh, he'll be at the Ruby Road Exchange. You get out of the way of that tracks. Get out of the way of everybody who's working around here. You move the quest marker to a new area. Welcome back, my friend. Judging by your expression, I take it all is well with Nagi and Kippe. I see. I'm pleased to hear that. When we first set out on our journeys, it is usually for the simplest of reasons. Excuse me. Yet as we make our way, those reasons may become lost in a haze of motives, causing us to lose sight of what truly matters. In such a time, if we can but remember what prompted us to take our first step, we will always find the strength to take the next. Nagi shall be fine, I'm certain. My thanks for keeping an eye on him. These events have inspired a new verse in me. A verse about the dreams of those who seek new worlds and the hopes of those who see them off. Greetings, Warrior of Light. This is a world that exists outside your realm. Could it be a dream? A flight of fancy conjured by your weary mind? Perhaps. Perhaps not. 'Tis a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Naoki Yoshida, and I have beckoned you here that I might express my gratitude. 10 years have now passed since this world has reborn from its ashes. Since we set forth on this journey. Countless things have happened during that time, and I've had the pleasure of meeting many an adventure along the way. Truth be told, it hasn't always been easy. There are moments when I wonder why I must struggle so. Days when I'm tempted to cast it all aside. But in spite of this, I always manage to carry on. And it is thanks to my wonderful comrades, and to you, our esteemed adventurers. By now, I must have been regaled with tens of thousands of your tales. You usually share them with a smile, even when it was is, but even when it was, but even when it was with a frown. You tell me that you still enjoy yourself. It is no exaggeration to say that I derive all of my driving force from the bottom of my heart. I thank you. Ours is an unending journey. Nothing would make me happier than if we could keep walking it together. As you make your way, we promise that we will ever be by at your side, matching step for step. Now, the time has come for this vision to end. Time for your eyes to open from this waking dream. Much time has passed since the world was reborn from its ashes. Countless souls have made this place their home. Every single one of them has left an indelible mark upon it. Together we have built this world, and it is our sincerest hope that we shall continue to do so for many years to come. So please, be safe and well. May you ever walk in the light of the crystal. I dare say Nagi is aboard the airship by now. I pray that he and Kippy will find happiness upon their respective paths. I hope you do so as well, my friend. If you would lend me an ear, I would dedicate these verses to your future. By morning light, the journey starts, a thrill of hope within our hearts. On westerly wind to river song, to the world where we belong. Above fields of white and azure skies, sunsets storm and crimson fire. Jewels a glitter on pitch black veil, new day dawns, so goes the tale. By eternal wind we carry on, boldly towards the golden morn, with memories as a guiding star, shining our steps both near and far. Where you will go, whom you will meet, what you will see. There's no telling what the future holds for anyone. What yet come what may, I bid you never forget this. The bonds you forge, the memories you make, and the footprints you leave behind. They shall one day spur you forward. So pray, continue walking your own path. Wherever your journey leads, I shall be praying for your happiness. Always a sentimental old kid thing. Okay. Now there was one other, if I remember correctly, one other quest real quick. Well, I don't know how quick, but one other quest you can do for this, and it is Nananji here. That determined set of your jaw. That dynamic presence, as if you're ever ready to leap into act. There's no mistake. You're an adventurer, and a dependable one at that. Tell me, are you familiar with the name Louis Levieur? Of course I am. Of course you are, of course you are. Forgive me my suddenness. I'm Nananji Nanolji, a budding writer, and I seek to pen the biography of the great man. In particular, I wish to cover his movements leading up to the calamity, and to that end I've requested an interview with the Immortal Flames. He served the Eorzean Alliance as a tactician, you see, so there ought to be someone in the Order who had dealings with them. And while my request has thankfully been accepted, there's just one problem. I don't have much experience conducting interviews, and I'm worried whether I'll be able to do a proper job. As an adventurer, you're doubtless used to dealing with people. Thus, I would like to ask you to accompany me in the capacity of an assistant. It'd be tremendously reassuring to simply have you watching on. If you're amenable, afterwards I'd like to interview you as well as for your own impressions. Your troubles, I'll be certain to credit you as a collaborator. So please, won't you help me with the biography? The memories of the calamity might be preserved for future generations. I'm in your debt. Begin with, please come with me to Camp Drybone in Eastern Thanalan. There is a place I'd like to visit ahead of the interview. Okay, we can go out there. Camp Drybone. I've been there time or two. And let's see. Nananji, there you are. There you are. To explain why we're here. Oh, but I haven't even asked your name. How am I supposed to credit you if I don't even know that much? Red Green? The Red Green champion of Eorzea? No wonder I felt you were dependable. With one such as you help me, everything will surely go well. But getting back to business, the interview I've arranged is with an officer of the Immortal Flames. There's still time, however, so I thought we'd pay a visit to the nearby graveyard first, so I can explain my motivation for the biography. I come from a small village in near the Cartno Flats. It was burned down in the calamity, and those who died were laid to rest here. My parents among them. It's hardly an uncommon tale. After the dread primal emerged from Dalamud, he unleashed fiery devastation across the length and breadth of Eorzea. But as much as the calamity has scarred the realm, it is quickly becoming just another event in the history books. Beyond occasionally giving thanks to the Archons that Eorzea was saved, people spare it little thought. But when you've lost so many loved ones, it's hard to feel that anything was saved. That's why I wish to know more about Louis. By learning about his part in Eorzea's salvation, I hope that I will attain closure. That's my motivation for writing the biography. Now then, in preparation for the interview, let's review what is known about our subject. It's difficult to define exactly when the Seventh Umbral Calamity was set in motion. Many historians, however, point to the Empire's Meteor Project, which sought to bring Dalamud down upon Eorzea. It was in the year 1562 of the 6th Astral Era. Seeking to combat the Imperial threat, Louis founded the Circle of Knowing, an order whose objective was the preservation of Eorzea. Okay, those are some... Till C swallows all. The order of the... Through its members, the Archons of Charlayan, the Circle would work to unite the nations of Eorzea in common cause. The result was the formation of grand companies of the three city-states. Immortal Flames, the Twin Adder, and the Maelstrom. None of these would exist now if it weren't for their efforts. Then, in the year 1572, when the situation was coming to a head, Louisoix himself made the journey to Eorzea in secret and engaged with each of the nations. What took place during that time is what I seek to learn in the interview. The man we're due to meet is the contact for the Free Brigade, a unit formed of adventurers. Apparently, he had Louisoix's assistance for a mission. The meeting place is Highbridge, to the northeast. It's more or less time now, so let's make our way there. So let's real quick use the Rising Phoenix whistle. And say hello to the cat one more time. You're the ones who seek an interview. I must say, I wasn't expecting to see the champion of Eorzea. I'm Nananji Nanonji, the writer who made the request, and Red is kindly accompanying me for the interview. Can't thank you enough for taking the time out of your busy schedule to humor me. Come now, no need for thanks. Like everyone, I hold Louisoix in the highest esteem. If you wish to know about him, Holland Aubrey is always glad to oblige. Holland Aubrey is always glad to oblige. Yo. Without further ado, then, let us begin. My understanding is you had dealings with Louisoix. Could you tell me the details? As you know, our grand companies were formed thanks to the Circle of Knowing, but it wasn't until Dalamed began turning red that Louisoix first appeared. It began with the word that an elderly Elysian man had come to Gridania, who held the key to vanquishing Primal. Upon learning of this, I sent an adventurer of the Free Brigade to make contact with him. I later learned that the Maelstrom and the Order of Twin Adder had done the very same. At the time, our companies weren't yet collaborating. Each one only thought to stay ahead of the others. Truth be told, first we didn't think much of Louisoix. Only that he was the leader of scholars who studied peculiar prophecies, but when the adventurer reported back, our opinion of the man completely changed. It was the forehead tattoo. With the spellcraft, Louisoix had opened the way into Ifrit's domain, and by the hand of dauntless adventurers, the Lord of the Inferno was brought low. Alas, many defeats preceded that victory. It was reported that countless charred corpses had laid strewn in the bowl of embers. Now, the mission also yielded a shocking revelation. Following the battle, Legatus Nelvendarnus of the 7th Imperial Legion appeared, and told the adventurer that the hour of reckoning was at hand. Dalamud would soon fall and cleanse the land. That was when we realized that the Empire was behind the Red Moon's anomaly. So, thanks to Louiswa, you came to be aware of the meteor project. Still, it didn't seem like you had much time to act upon it. As you say. Afterwards, we scrambled to learn all we could about the project. For blessing, we had the cooperations of a Garlean defector, Sid Garland, who you know well. He revealed the details of the project, that it utilized the transmission tower to pluck Dalamud from the heavens, all for the purpose of purging us savages from the realm. I could continue telling you what I know, but from this point on, there is someone better suited than I am. If you're interested, I'd be glad to introduce you to this individual. What say you? Well now, we'd be keen to speak with this person indeed. Very well. I'll send word to the Adder's Nest. If you could take yourselves to Kalu Falls, I'll arrange for a meeting there. To go to such lengths to help us, I can't say how grateful I am. Do not mention it. As I said, I hold Louiswa in the highest esteem. He was the one who brought our three nations together. Nothing would please me more than for him to be remembered. Well, it's past time I return to Ul'dah. I pray that the coming interview bears you fruit. The Lieutenant certainly has great respect for Louiswa. And thanks to him, we have another promising interview. Come, let's head to Gridania, where the Archon has sojourned. Are you going to want me there? No? Okay. Wow, that's awful bright at night. Now, since we need to go to Epcot Falls, I will do this number. I could just teleport into New Gridania. I probably should. It'd probably be quicker. But we can fly. Nananji's over there walking, so we might as well just take our time. And if we just go this way, So this is up Kalu Falls. The conspicuous lack of the creatures aside, it's quite a beautiful place. Now then, the person we'd meet should be along shortly. I was told that there were those who wished to learn about Louiswa, and who should be. I was told that there were those who wished to learn about Louiswa, and who should one of them be but Lieutenant Green? Ahmed. I'm Lieutenant Cyril Folk of the Order of the Twin End. Nananji, at your service. Thank you for sparing the time to speak with us. Think nothing of it. I must say, though, that Lieutenant Aubrey chose the perfect spot for the subject matter. Louiswa spent much time in rumination here in the days before the calamity. We Gridanians, being somewhat reserved by nature, at first the citizens kept their distance. Somewhat reserved, he says. But in time, people warmed to it. He patiently lent an ear to their troubles, healing hurts and offering counsel, gradually earned their trust. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is impotence. Louiswa spoke those words and lived up to them. He was the epitome of the Charlatan sage, and I recall myself being moved. Now, shortly after we had become aware of the Meteor Project, the hamlet of Quarrymill was attacked by the primal Garuda. Both soldiers and civilians were among the casualties. The Order of the Twin Adder moved to vanquish the primal, but we were not alone. Through Louiswa's meditation, we had the support of not only our sister grand companies, but capable adventurers the realm over besides. Using an artifact known as the Vortex Feather, the Archon opened the way for a band of adventurers to sally forth into Garuda's turbulent domain, where they felt the fearsome being. Upon her defeat, however, the primal dispersed ether did not return to the land. Instead, it was absorbed into the Red Moon Dolomite. And when the Empire constructed a new base in Mordona, the Elder Seedseer saw the need for decisive action and put forth a proposal. The formal reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, which had for so long lain dormant. The initial response from the other nations was lukewarm at best. They felt that the burden to be borne by each party was excessive, and they were loath to do aught that would place them at a disadvantage against their rivals. Politics. But the revelation that a lunar transmitter had been erected in the Imperial base prompted a change of heart. The tower controlled Dalaman's descent. If it could be destroyed, then the Meteor Project would be forestalled. After having constantly been on the back foot, our nations were motivated to join hands, that we might strike a decisive blow against the enemy. Thus was the Eorzean Alliance reformed, as the Circle of Knowing had hoped. At the same juncture, Louiswa was asked to join the Alliance as a tactician, and in that capacity, he provided sage counsel to our heads of state. So, although he was first treated with wariness, Louiswa earned our trust through his actions, and paved the way to enduring cooperation between our nations. Indeed, were it not for him, we all would have perished divided. We owe Louisoix a great debt. Now then, I expect you might be interested in hearing about the operation to destroy the lunar transmitter. But for that tale, I would recommend you seek out another, a decorated soldier who actually took part in the operation. Although a hardened warrior, she's quite friendly and should be glad to regale you of her experiences. Shall I send her word on your behalf? We'd be duly grateful. Very well. If you would take yourself to Maelstrom Command in Limsa, I shall see to it that she knows to expect you. With that, I shall take my leave. I pray that the biography is a success. Everyone has been more helpful than I had dared to hope. It seems Louisoix had quite an influence on others. Shrug. That interview gave us valuable insights into his character. I'm eager to see what we learn in the next. Come, let us head to Limsa. Well, I can quickly get there because that's my free teleport spot. Let's hit the right buttons here. Oh, I hit level 60 doing stuff. Which means that Dancer is open if I want it. I'm gonna pass, but it's open. And there it is, Maelstrom Command. Shall we then? Red, ever a sight for sore eyes. And you must be Nananji. Rashad Riki, at your service. I understand you wish to hear about the operation to destroy the lunar transmitter. Indeed. I'm pinning a biography of Archon Louisoix, you see, for which I'm interviewing people who had dealings with him. I truly appreciate your time. You're very welcome. I would be glad to assist even if it was a request from Lieutenant Folk. Hello. Now then, to continue where he left off. It was shortly after the Eorzean alliance was formed. Our scouts returned with word that the 7th Legion had activated the lunar transmitter in their fortress at Mordona. Now known as Castrum Sentry, the fortress was originally called Castrum Nova before the 14th restored and renamed it. It was in order to break through its defenses and destroy the transmitter that our three nations joined hands, and we were determined to succeed. The strategy that Louisoix proposed was elegant in its simplicity. While our main force drew the Garleans' attention with an all-out siege, an elite band of adventurers would infiltrate the castrum and make for our objective. Hey, that sounds familiar. We had entrusted adventurers with ridding us of the primals. Now we entrusted them with the very fate of Eorzea. I still remember the operation as if it were yesterday. Though we met with fierce resistance, we fought more fiercely still. No matter the cost, we had to ensure that the adventurers had a chance to strike at the transmitter. And when the messenger arrived bearing word that they had succeeded, It still makes my heart sore to recall the moment of triumph. That day, we learned that by standing together, the people of Eorzea could oppose even the might of the Empire. It's no exaggeration to say that victory paved the way for Eorzea's future. Without it, there would not have been an Operation Archon. Alas, it wasn't all glad tidings, for though we destroyed the transmitter, Nelvar Darnus appeared and claimed that he no longer needed the device to bring down Dalamud, that he himself had the power to do so. So long as Vendarnus lived, the threat of destruction remained. And so, branding him an enemy to all life in Eorzea, the nations of the Alliance undertook a desperate manhunt. At length, they located him in Kurthus, and sent their greatest warriors to hunt him down. Leading that formidable band was the adventurer whom they called the Warrior of Light, and though no records remain of the fierce encounter, one thing is certain. At the battle's conclusion, Nelvar Darnus was brought low. As you know, however, our woes did not end with the White Raven, for Louisoix and his disciples determined that Dalamud would continue to fall. In a last-ditch bid to prevent the realm's annihilation, the Circle of Knowing issued a request to the Eorzean Alliance: secure the Cardinal Flats, where the Red Moon was expected to crash. It was no simple task, for the entirety of the 7th Legion had amassed in Cardinal, but it was necessary to perform a ritual to stop Dalamud. A ritual that invoked the power of the 12. So it was that the Battle of Cardinal was joined, and I dare say you know how that tale continues. To everyone's shock, the Elder Primal Bahamut emerged from Dalamud, and proceeded to unleash his fury upon the realm. Aye, and though all bore witness as Louisoix initiated the ritual, none remember what came to pass afterwards. Neither what happened to Bahamut, nor why the realm was reborn. The haze that affected memories of the calamity. But people remember events prior to that moment, yes? If so, do you know if anyone was near Louisoix during the battle? Someone who may have spoken with him? If someone was near him, I'm afraid I don't know. He was atop a rise for a ritual while I was a good distance away on the front lines. My apologies. No, please don't apologize. You've shared a wealth of information, and I couldn't ask for more. Well, if you're satisfied, then so am I. With that, I shall return to my duties. I look forward to reading the biography when it's finished. Now I have a grasp of events leading up to the calamity. And yet... Oh, forgive me, I was deep in thought. In no small part due to your help, I've managed to learn a great deal. But there's still more I wish to know. Might I trouble you to accompany me a little longer? If you're willing, please let me know. You'll continue accompanying me then? Wonderful. Come on, let's head to the Drowning Winch to discuss our next move. Ooh, damn. Our research proceeds apace so far. We've even learned things not found in literature. But tell me, based on what you've heard from our interviewees, what is your opinion of Louisoix? He had a difficult task. Indeed, from an imperial invasion to rampaging primals to Nilvarn Darnus' scheme, he had to contend with the toughest of problems. What struck me was how grateful the interviewees were to Louiswa for bringing their nations together in cooperation. It was nothing short of necessary for our survival. Yet, in knowing this, I can't help but wonder. In his capacity as a tactician, it seems to me he had done more than enough by devising a plan and facilitating its execution. He went far beyond that, risking life and limb on the front lines for a land not his own. Perhaps he needed to be there for a ritual. Perhaps he felt a sense of duty. Even so, as noble as it is to desire to help others, what good is it if you end up sacrificing yourself? What was it that compelled Louiswa to go to Cart? What went through his mind as the battle unfolded? In order to do his biography justice, I feel I need to know these things. If Louiswa had people near him at the time, perhaps he shared words with them in his final moments. Words that could provide some insights, but where to begin searching for such individuals, assuming they exist? Sorry, friends. No, that's not Badron. Sorry, friends. Couldn't help but overhear this conversation. Just so happens I know a bloke who served among Louiswa's guard at Cartner. Truly? You know someone who was with him? Aye, and as far as I'm aware, he wasn't keeping the fact a secret. Just for good measure, though. Why do you want to speak with him? Explanations. Louiswa's biography, eh? In that case, I reckon the bloke would be willing to cooperate. Orn Gungan was his name, and he was a lieutenant of the Maelstrom. After the calamity, he turned to adventuring so as to be a greater help to the common folk. Maelstrom officer turned adventurer. We'd be most keen to speak with him. Where might he be found? Well, and Orn stopped in the office the other day. He said he had business at the Morbid Dry Docks. If you're lucky, he might be as he's still there. Understood. We're in your debt. Can't let this chance pass us by, Red. Let's take ourselves to the dry docks at once. And I suppose we're going to just quick out on this one. I had a voice for Baderon, but can't say I remember it. Yes, I'm drinking soda tonight. No apologies. Walden, who are you? Oh, you're the island sanctuary guy. Yes. Okay, well, I misclicked there. Menanji's over here. Let's talk to him. Right, where could Orn be? In hindsight, we should have asked what he looks like. His name would suggest he's a Midlander, but... Well, nothing for it but to make inquiries. Let's split up for the task and meet again here. Orn. Can you tell me an Orn? Oi, shopkeep, you know an Orn? Sorry, but I've only just started helping out here. Still learning our customers' names. Couldn't say if it's the person you're after, but a man did come by here earlier who appeared to be an adventurer. He bought a Nemea lily that we're currently trailing. You have trialing. Okay. Did you have any? I would much like to have an Nemea lily. I'm afraid I'm going to have use of it. Wafafu. No, you're wrong icon. Porter. Warren, as it happens, I spoke with him just earlier. Said he wanted to buy flowers, so I directed him to a vendor. Not sure where he is now, though. Now, I don't know. Depending on where you are in the story, you may or may not right. You may or may not know the significance of the Nemean lilies. Looking for Orrin Greencomb, you say? Don't know about anyone by that name, I'm afraid. Did walk by an unfamiliar fellow just now, over by the Mark of the Spinner. He had a flower in his hand, so he caught me eye. Like lilies in the real world, the Nemean lilies are a funeral. There you are, Red. Were you able to learn anything? So a man who could be Orn bought a Nemea lily and then went to the Mark of the Spinner. If we hurry, we may be able to find him. Let's go. Begging your pardon, sir, but are you Lieutenant Orn Greencomb? I've been a lieutenant in years, but aye, that's me. What can I do for you? I realize this is sudden, but a flash of recognition? So, you're writing Louis Waugh's biography and want to hear my account as someone who is near on hand at guard now. There must be a reason that you're here too. The warrior of light who led us to victory in Operation Archon. Very well, I'll tell you my tale. Now, where to begin? As you know, The battle was fought over the land where Dolomites was expected to fall. In the beginning, neither side was able to gain the upper hand, but when the Imperials deployed their Magitech armor, our ranks were thrown into disarray. Those charged with protecting Louis, while like me, could only watch the carnage from afar. And though our forces managed to hold out thanks to the adventurers' kit, we sustained grievous casualties. The real tragedy was what followed. As Dalamud hurled toward us, it began shedding fragments of itself before finally bursting open to unleash the primal bomb. As all below looked on in shock, the battle completely forgotten, Bahamut took wing and spewed fire all over the land. Men in Magitech armor alike were set ablaze and set flying like so many insects. I only realized I had stopped breathing when a commanding voice broke through my trance. "You've done enough. Now fly. Fly and save yourselves." But like my fellow guards, I wanted to remain. Couldn't charge into battle beside my comrades. At the very least, I would do my duty here and protect Louis while it lasts. But upon seeing us standing there, not making a move, he smiled. "If you would give your lives to protect something, then protect my hopes." Every soul who lives to determine their own fate is a source of hope. Right. So I bid you live, and be among those who bear the light for others to follow. Those words awakened us to a greater purpose. There was hope in my living, that I would live, as Louis Wall bid. No matter what, I would survive. And so, together with my fellows, I began making my retreat. Alas, we hadn't gotten far when an explosion erupted and sent us sprawling. I struggled to my feet just in time to see the enormous menacing silhouette of Bahamut looming over Louis Wall. In the next instant, he was enveloped in light. That's the last I remember of him. This was the final moment. Amidst that light, he looked to be smiling. What he was thinking in that moment, I can't say, but one thing is certain. All of us are alive thanks to him. Following the calamity, it was reported that Louis had defeated Bahamut and set about the land's miraculous regeneration. Do you believe that's the truth? Every soul who lives to determine their own fate is a source of hope. What we've learned has reaffirmed my belief, Red. Belief that Louis Wall was not an all-powerful savior one reads about in tales, but merely an ordinary man. But that man never forsook Eorzea. No. He stood for this realm to last. He and countless other brave souls. And saved it from becoming a scorched waste. Against unimaginable adversity he fought. cost of his life, paved the way to a better future for us all. The least I can do in return is tell his story. Spread his message that where there's life, there's hope. Thank you for your account. I believe I found an angle for the biography. I am truly grateful. Would you care to offer a prayer as well? Prayer that the light of hope which Louis offers you? Prayer that the light of hope which Louis observed shall ever burn bright. Calamity left deep scars across the realm. There's no place that did not want to help to rebuild. After being saved by our Twin Adder allies, I decided to become an adventurer. Marathon and Louis' legacy lend to aid to those in need. During my travels, I often hear your tales. Glad I could share my own with you. Allow me to thank you again for counting your experiences to us. Tis I who owes you thanks for giving me the chance to share Louis' words. All these years, I avoided speaking of the moment of his past. Respect. It wouldn't do to take the tale to my grave. Through the biography, it's my hope that his spirit will live on in all of us. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I shall resume my pilgrimage to the marks. Wherever your travels take you, I shall be praying for your safety. Nimia, at least, a symbol of safe passage. As Louis stood there in Cartno, I wonder if he likewise prayed for someone's safety. At any rate, these interviews have yielded everything I had hoped for and more. So, let us return to Ul'dah. I'll have your reward for you at Ul'dah Hall of Flames. Yeah, let's save. There you are. I ended up troubling you longer than I intended, but it was truly a fruitful series of interviews. How fortunate that we could hear from those who lived that fateful time. I still have many questions. The biography is beginning to take shape in my mind. I also feel as though I've attained a measure of closure. Louis fought simply as one of us, and he made the ultimate sacrifice that hope might endure. This I've come to realize and appreciate thanks to everyone's heartfelt testimonies. Now then, and last but not least, I'd like to ask you for your thoughts on something. According to Orn, Louis Ross smiled in his last moment. As he was enveloped in the light, what do you imagine he held in his mind? Oh, this one's a tough one. The image of mankind thriving into the future. I see. I appreciate your thoughts. As I pin the biography, I'll be certain to remember your words. Now, sad though it is, it's time for us to part ways. I'll set to work on a draft, and I won't rest until the biography goes to print. Thank you for all your help, my friend. I couldn't have come this far without you. Portrait elements. Alright, folks. I had fully intended to do some raiding tonight. But between those readings and well, just between those readings, I think I'm gonna call it let's see. What's on the agenda for this week? Well, we're just gonna farm. Let's see if we can make it to level 70 before we manage to get through ARR from all this farm. That'd kind of be funny, but I won't count on it. I will count on you coming back next time. So, I suppose let's do the whole wrap up, all the social media stuff. Hit the follow. If you're watching me here on Twitch, hit the follow button. If you're watching the VODs on YouTube, please hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribing is free. Liking is free. I don't have super likes, so can't pay me. Don't pay me. Don't give me money. And I'm serious here. Don't give me money for what I do. This is for fun. I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying having you here with me. Enjoying what attention you pay to me. So, just a thumbs up is more than enough support. Other than that, this weekend, or the rest of the week, I'm going to be farming the Moogle Tomestones. And that's probably what we're going to pick up with for the next stream. Knock on wood, if I'm feeling good enough to do it on Thursday. And this weekend was a bit messy. Friday night, if one's available and you enjoy it, go to your local game store and check out the pre-release of Wilds of Eldraine and Magic the Gathering. That's what I'm going to be doing. Take a friend. Enjoy a evening of fairy tale characters and magic. So we won't be here. It's gonna be a midnight thing again for me this week, so won't be here first thing Saturday morning, but please stop by. Hopefully I'll be able to get all these VODs up on YouTube in a timely fashion. I know I've been lagging behind. So, well, if you see this, there's going to be a whole stretch of them. But in any case, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Be good to one another. We'll see you next time.